All right, guys, welcome to another video. It's your man Jay Will. So after the hype for the MotoZPlay, so a lot of people are actually hyped around the iPhone launch right now. Now, I did order the iPhone, and I'm still waiting for it to come in. I didn't want to go and stand in line and all that. I could have done it today, but I just wasn't feeling good, so I didn't do it. And I'll just wait for my two other ones to come. So in the meantime, everybody is so hyped about the iPhone. But this is a phone that I think you should really get hyped about. This is after the hype for a MotoZPlay. Now, it's been about 3 days or so for using this phone, and I got to tell you, I'm on the same charge from a day ago, so this is my second day on the same charge. I'm going to start with what makes this phone important to me, and it's the battery. So you can see here I've got 21%, and so I'm going to go into the battery settings. As you can see, it tells me that I have about 8 hours left. I haven't done any charging or anything. It's been doing pretty good. Battery life is incredible. I can just tell you that now. So I'm at 8 hours and 26 minutes. And I'm on a charge from yesterday, and I still have 21% left. So I can imagine how this battery is going to turn out over time using it. On every charge, I'm able to get... Now, this is the first phone besides the J7, I think, that I've had this kind of tremendous battery life on. I think I'm probably averaging about 8 hours or so on every charge or more, because I'll get almost 10 hours of battery life out of this. I'm sure I can get another hour and a half out of this, and I'll, depending on when I post this video, hopefully I'll try to burn this battery down. But it's a very hard phone to kill. I'm on day 2 with this battery. And I'm at 8.5 hours, and I'm not really, I'm not like just watching videos all day. I'm actually using it. I make a lot of phone calls, and the screen's been on. I'm doing a lot of reading, and it's just, it's been good. So battery life, if you are thinking about the MotoZPlay, you're thinking about the right phone. Wow, this battery life is amazing. It has a 3,510 milliamp hour battery, and it is phenomenal. I had to start there to give you some kind of expectation of what you're going to be getting. Now, the reason I'm probably going to tell you this phone has great battery life is because it has a Snapdragon 625 coupled with 3 gigs of RAM, and it's got a 1080p Super AMOLED display. So that combination with the 625 and that battery, man, it's just really, really good. It's an octa-core clocked at 2 gigahertz, and it is a fantastic device combination. This is my first experience with the 625. I haven't experienced any lag. You just can't get this phone to shut down on you. I haven't had anything. Now, I'm running the Google Now launcher on here, but normally I run the just a stock launcher, and I did just add the Pixel launcher, but I haven't really used it. I just kind of put it back to the Google Now launcher, and I've been hammering it down. So performance-wise, this phone, the Snapdragon 625, is a great processor. Again, this is my first experience with it, so I had never had any hands-on with it. So the Snapdragon 625 is fantastic, and it does have the Adreno 506 in here. Now, it benchmarked on AnTuTu at about 57,000, and let me see if I can find that in the photos here without releasing too much information from other people's photos and stuff. All right, so here's the benchmark test that I did. So 57,400, and this is for the techies, not so much for me, but. And then on the Geekbench 4, it got these scores right here. Now, these scores, you might think, wow, those are kind of low. But it just seems like it doesn't match this device's performance overall. Now, I'm not a heavy gamer on phones, but I will tell you that this phone performs very, very well. There was some choppiness in the AnTuTu when it was going through the animations and things like that. However, it did perform well. And for daily use, I don't see how, and I do the benchmarks for the techies, but in the end, I'm reviewing the phone for the end user. But let's get into a little bit more of the specs. So 3 gigs of RAM, 625 processor, 3510 battery, 16 megapixel rear camera, which I think is just beautiful, 5.5 inch. I hate to keep stressing this, but it's a Super AMOLED display. If you haven't seen the video I did with this phone against some other phones like the Axon 7 and the Idol 4S, check that video out. I'll link it to the description of this video. It does run the latest Androids. Well, not the latest. It doesn't run 7.0. It runs 6.0.1. And it's got adaptable storage. So I've already put a 64 gig card in here and up my storage to 90 something. Yeah. 92 or 91.6. So, you know, it does have adaptable storage. That's another good thing. It does have a fingerprint reader. It's splash resistant. So you could probably, it's water repellent really. It's IP52, so I'll get real technical on you. So you can't dunk this in water, but yeah, it's good. And as far as the onboard storage, it has 32 gigs built in. The front is a 5 megapixel camera with LED flash, which is really good. The rear shoots in 4K. It has dual LED tone, laser autofocus, panorama HDR, you know, face detection. It's got it all. It's got noise cancellation, fingerprint reader, everything there. Everything is there for the basics. But using this phone every day, it does have the also famous Moto mods. You can see this is what does it for me. This build quality on this phone, if you've never seen this phone in person, head over to Verizon and check it out. Or if you can go to your local Best Buy, head over there and check it out. I think you'll be more impressed in person. On camera, you can only do so much by showing a person a phone. But once you get it in person, you'll say, oh my gosh, yes, that is hot. And this is one of those phones. And you have Moto mods. And the good thing about it, they give you a free Moto mod in the packaging. So it's a style mod to start you off. So I think hype for this phone should far exceed some other phones on the market. But if a person really doesn't know about a phone and the marketing isn't there, you won't ever hear about it. So with that being said, the MotoZPlay is a phone that I can't wait to match up against my new iPhone 7 Plus. Because, you know, for real world testing, to me, that's what counts the most. I've been watching all these unboxings, and I've been watching people do full reviews on the iPhone 7 Plus and iPhone 7 already, and it just launched. But those reviews, no disrespect to them, they don't seem like real world reviews. They seem like they're just, obviously they had their units ahead of time, so they were given their units. But this phone right here, I haven't seen a lot of marketing for it. And that's a disappointment because this phone is only $400 through Verizon right now. It's an exclusive to Verizon. However, this is factory unlocked. And I do have my T-Mobile SIM card in here at the moment. And I'm getting full LTE, as you can see there. I always test the phones out with T-Mobile. Well, that's one of the reasons I have my Verizon account. Because I know that all the phones are unlocked pretty much and they'll work with T-Mobile. And I do get full LTE everywhere I go. I mean, I travel every week, so it's good. But it's kind of sad that this phone is not getting the attention I feel like it deserves because, you know, there's not a lot of phones out there, and definitely not, now, not to bash other OEMs because I have them, right? I buy them. But iPhones and Galaxies, if it's not an Exynos for the Samsung, you're probably not getting this. So on my J7, I can definitely get 8 hours max. But this phone has 21% left. And someone asked about the GPS. I took this, I was headed to my doctor's appointment, and I knew where the hospital was, but I decided to use this with the T-Mobile SIM in there, with the GPS. I just turned it on, put in the address, and I used the GPS. No problems, no drop signal service. GPS stayed locked the entire time. And call quality on Verizon with this phone is fantastic. And then call quality on the phone with T-Mobile is great. I really like the design of this phone here. The ridged power button. The volume rockers are too high for me, and I wish that all phones would have them a little lower. But you know, the headphone jack, the USB Type-C, just everything about this phone, the way it looks. It's one of those phones that if you don't see it in person, you really can't appreciate it. Now, you can look at it on camera. You can tell it's very sexy. But I had to point out to you guys by starting the video, this After the Hype video, with the battery, because I didn't know I was going to get this kind of battery when I got this phone. This is basically the MotoZ Force in a better looking package to me with a better battery. And I said it before, now that I know, I would definitely take a Super AMOLED 1080p display over a Quad HD display. Now, I used to say before that, I wish it doesn't have a Quad HD display, but with the right package, it can work. And for some reason, this package really works. Motorola has done a fantastic job with this phone, and I just don't see it any other way. I think that the hype goes around the marketing with a lot of phones. It's the marketing of a phone which can sell it. That is what it is. If you can sell your phone with market, I'm trying to change the wallpaper. If you can sell the phone with good marketing, anyone will buy it. And so some people say it's not fair to match phones like this against the Note 7, or it's not fair to match them against the iPhone 7 Plus. But really what they're saying is, I don't want to be embarrassed about my purchase. I don't want to feel like, oh, I made a dumb purchase. And I got to tell you, Motorola has a complete line. So they've got all the way down to completely just a small phone all the way up to a big boy. And right now, these are their flagships, the MotoZ, the MotoZ Force, and the MotoZPlay. And of all those phones, I would definitely recommend this one. Having used all of them, this is the one in the middle that I think will be fantastic because the battery life. This doesn't have shatter shield. As you can see, I already have a tempered glass on here. I put it on there at launch. You can kind of get a good angle of it right there now. I do have a tempered glass on here, and I'm fine with that. This Super AMOLED display, I can change it to a regular wallpaper so you can kind of get a feel of how nice it really is. Oh boy, that is beautiful. This Super AMOLED display is gorgeous. Day-to-day use, processing your applications, just doing everything that you want to do regularly, you can do it with this phone, and you will have superb battery. I mean, I'm on day 2 now. Do you see the battery there? It's at 8.5 hours. Let's see if I can get it to refresh here. The battery is at 8.5 hours. And I haven't been on the charger at all. Nothing. You can see it's been off the charger since yesterday, I think in the evening or the day before. I don't remember. But it's fantastic. All I can tell you is that the battery life is great. So I'm at 8 hours and 33 minutes. And it's fantastic, man. Everything about this phone, phones like this and the Axon 7 and the OnePlus 3, the J7, all these phones, the G4s, the whole Moto line right now would make you question why you would purchase another device that's Android over this one. I don't know. So this is after the hype with your man Jay Will for the MotoZPlay. Guys, I am extremely impressed. And I didn't even really touch on Moto mods. This phone has Moto mods. I mean, I could snap on a battery. Imagine if I put the 2200 milliamp hour battery on here. The reason that you don't see that is because I sold the black one because I'm trying to get the white one, and the white one is $80, and the black one was $60. I paid for it. It was like $65 with tax. So I'm trying to get the white one because I want to keep it all together, and I'm also trying to get the white Moto mod, the JBL. I'm just trying to get the same thing I had before, just in white, and so I'll probably do that. It's just that they're selling so fast, and I can't find them anywhere. When I look online, people have them priced way higher than what they're worth. So, yeah, but this phone has Moto mods. And I can snap on a speaker. I can snap on a battery. I can snap on a projector. I can snap on a bigger camera module. Who's doing that right now? No one. So I will definitely put this phone up against my iPhone 7 Plus. And I say the iPhone 7 Plus because the Note 7, when I get it again, it's going to be kind of, Samsung has a long way to go now. They really messed up by, getting, and they didn't actually make a mistake. It can happen to anybody. They caught the raw deal, the bad end of the stick. Their phone had to get recalled. Their latest flagship had to get recalled. And now they're losing traction everywhere. They're losing traction. And luckily for every other OEMs, or fortunately for other OEMs, they can step in and make a killing. And while everybody is hyped about the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, I'm hyped about it. However, having this phone right here will really make you question whether or not it's a good purchase. So it's your man Jay Will. This is after the hype for the Moto Z. Do you see that screen? Man. All right, so if you're wondering what phone I use to record this with, because I always tell you sometimes at the end of each video, this video was actually recorded with the Idol 4 from Cricket. So tell me what you guys think. I think the quality, I know the audio is going to be really good. So Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.